Honestly, you cannot make this shit up. Just reading this headline, I just, I've sad to say, the past few patches of content has only reinforced this article. No matter how cringe I see it, objectively speaking, it's not wrong lately. Star Wars, the great MMO RPG with a million peak at launch, which was quite something for the time, is now deduced to a dating sim. I can't. I did want to read this, but I ended up reading it. I just thought it was funny because honestly, it's not that far off. Anyway, despite playing this dating sim for its PvP in the past year plus, they've not only abandoned the PvP community, they've made it worse to play in every single way. I'll put some things in the backdrop here so you guys can see like some of the main points. Also just using a Minecraft background. I don't really have anything else to use. I've lost most of my files with the move. So I don't have access to a lot of my old screenshots and Star Wars. That sucks, but I'll live. As for why I don't really upload or play anymore, it's mostly down to magnitude of these reasons, including a lack of any sort of balance changes mixing up the meta. It's running back 6.0 minus a lot of abilities, and healers are arguably worse, while damage exploded in potential and heals barely got a nudge. It's fun to play occasionally, but there's a point where the lack of attention happening, or more so action happening. So basically after somebody dies for the first time in the match, or they go and they fight once, they just kind of give up. They mentally check out. The match is already over in their mind and they've given up. And you probably won't see them in combat again. They'll probably go hide somewhere. It's just unbearable to play. It's not fun for either side, and those players that still want to fight are pretty much from that point on going to play at a disadvantage because they're not going to have the same amount of numbers of players. Nonetheless, we've all seen the direction they're heading lately. The responses to the players, I made some forum posts, including asking when they'll add MMORPG content to the MMORPG that majority of us stuck around to play. As in, if it was just a story game, eventually you'll get it all done and start playing other games. But since it's MMORPG, you kind of move on to the multiplayer aspects of the games, like guild stuff, operations, PvP, stuff like that, or even like flashpoints in this case. I think we have like uprisings and a couple other things that we can do. There are basically a lot of things that you can do that had a lot of staying power, and it still does to an extent. Whether it's PvE or PvP, it's the main thing to do after finishing up the stories and honing your ability to play the game, instead of just playing the say chat. But I digress. This is a game that's meant a lot to me over the years. Actually, as you see in my background, and generally I don't use my camera very often. I'm in my own place, I move states, and it's quite beautiful here where I am now. It's peaceful. Definitely something that I needed. I owe a lot of that to Star Wars, because I wouldn't have met my roommate that was in a similar position that I was in. Regardless of what happens to the game, I can say it changed my life, regardless of how cringe that may sound. But that's about it for me. I may upload some random things if I feel like it. I worked just shy of 80 hours this past week, and I am beat. I saw this article, and I was like, yeah, that's where we are. Great. What free time I have doesn't seem well used in the game anymore, but I always do enjoy helping you guys if I can. I know they haven't done any balance changes, so if I get around to it, I may remake some of my older guides. The community content for this game, when it comes to PvP, is definitely yikes. Not a fan. Even if I can help one person, I'd consider it a win. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. See ya.